Well, everybody, and welcome to Pearl's Politics. We like it smooth and easy. All right. Hey, the rest of the team is here with me, so let me go ahead and bring them in now. The heartbeat of the South. And my every heartbeat, I think I brought him in really quick.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim, how's it going?
Hey, all right. How's everybody doing?
Oh, we'll take fine. We'll take fine. You
All
know,
right.
we got our ups and downs, but we keep pushing.
I
Keep
understand.
on pushing.
I
Curtis
understand.
Mayfield from the day.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, we got the Zig in the house with us. Hey, James, let me move this out of your way
Hi,
off the
mommy.
screen.
Hi, Tom.
Hey,
Hey,
John.
how's it going up there in New York?
Pretty good. A little bit of snow. They're saying maybe for a weekend.
Got a little bit of snow. All right, well, that's the way it goes. That's what New York does, right?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, as you say, unfortunately. Well, we can't do it without her. And she's here in the studio, Kathy CC Carlson. Hey,
Hi, everybody.
Hey,
hey,
Hi.
Kevin.
Kathy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Great.
Good, good, good.
Excellent. I'm looking for the show because I'm trying to share it. So I guess I'm
Oh,
gonna have to go to the politics page and see if I can
mhm.
find it there. Yep, it says we're live. So let me I'm gonna have to share it from that page. Okay. Share it. Okay, now. Okay, let me get my volume off.
Mm,
Okay, so guys, look, we're gonna try to get in and out tonight, but we're gonna make it nice and smooth and informative for our audience. For those that are watching and those that will watch on replay. So I guess I'll go first. The two latest things that I discovered that's going on in the country as well as international is this. Number one, I found out that Joey, tributary Joey, has three in-laws that are Jewish, and so we were just talking about it's probably Jill that was telling him, to just keep his support with Israel when the whole world is saying don't. But now I come to find out all three of his children, even the one the boy that he lost, both, he got in-laws, so he married in-laws, Jewish. All of his children married a Jewish partner, and he himself is a Zionist, and so I guess that makes Jill a Zionist. So I suppose that's pretty solid reason why he can't go back on pulling out now, right? And the other thing, and I'm gonna get y'all's feedback on both of these things. I'm just gonna tell you what they are and let y'all plug it, okay? The other thing is Iran has pulled their oil from Israel. No, Turkey. I'm sorry, Turkey. How could I say Iran? But no, it's Turkey. That's one of our fan base countries. They have pulled sanctioned oil going to Israel, so they are not, and Israel get the biggest supply of their oil from Turkey. So they're not supplying Israel with any more oil, and oil is what they use for their fuel. So what do y'all think about both of those? And you take either one, in any order that you want.
I can take the first one if you want.
Sure, go ahead.
To be fair, Donald Trump's son-in-law, Ivanka's husband, is Jewish too.
Ivanka Trump's husband. What did you just say?
Her, Donald Trump's
Yeah,
son-in-law.
I heard that too.
Her first husband?
Her first, the one she's married to now, Jared, I think his name is.
No, that's her. That's her. That's her son, right? Her stepson. Jared is Donald's son. Either way it goes, but yes, Jared. I mean, no, Jared is an in-law. He married Ivanka. You're right. Yeah. Okay.
And he's Jewish.
And
so,
he is Jewish.
And it doesn't matter either way. But
well, I'm kind of wondering about it because that's what I was really gonna say was, I wonder would it be any different if Donald was in office because he has the Jewish ties too. It seems that everyone in these high political powers have Jewish partners or in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
So they married to money, huh?
And Ivanka, or he made Ivanka change religions before he'd marry her.
Who did? Donald?
No, her husband.
Jared.
Oh, Jared. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's their tradition. They're very.
She was Catholic, and he wanted her to be whatever he was.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it would be any different with Donald if he was in because he's got those Jewish ties too. And I was mentioning that I made kind of what do you call it? It was not a joke, but it was a parody. I kind of made a parody. I think it was last night when I said, "Have you ever seen a poor Jew?" I've never seen a poor Jew. So it appears that these politicians really like to marry Jewish money, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I would like to think that Trump will put country first. I would like to think that. That don't mean I'm right, but I would like to think that.
I think you're right.
There goes the difference between the two.
Okay.
Now, on the same topic, my best friend is Jewish.
Okay. I mean, I don't have anything wrong with the Jewish people.
Me neither.
But what happens, what's happening worldwide is that Netanyahu is turning people against the Jewish people. And that's the reason why the people here in the United States are protesting. The Jewish people are protesting because they don't want to be connected with this genocide in their name as being the Jewish people.
And believe it or not, Chuck Tennant's Jewish too.
Yeah. And so they don't want, that stain on their name. I mean, there's a lot of people that's Jewish. I'm sure a lot of our guests have been on the show that's been Jewish. I mean, I don't ask them, we don't ask them their religious or their political position to be on the show because that's none of our business. But, I'm just saying that it appears that the Jewish government, war cabinet, and Netanyahu are not considering all these little broader things that are taking place because of their decisions and the way that they're handling the war. I don't think anybody blames the Israeli government for waging the war against Hamas, but it's the way in which they are carrying it out, by committing the war crimes, preventing humanitarian aid, and violating civil rights. Hi, Judy. And so you see, that's why I say I don't know if it would be any different if Trump was in because of his Jewish ties to his in-laws, because he really, all of his family members held political positions when he was in power, so.
But here's why I say what I said. And for a soldier and some soldiers, like Marines, is God and country. in that order, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I believe Trump will be more of a soldier than what Biden would be.
Well,
Be-
I believe
well,
that at first too, because he was the one that said it was Netanyahu's fault for not having a security breach in the first place, and he said that that Hamas was smarter than Netanyahu, and
Yeah,
then he got slammed
yeah,
publicly, criticized so publicly about it that he kind of reversed, tried to pull out of that statement that he made,
right.
and he normally doesn't do that, but I think he pulled out because his Jared probably told him that he got to smooth that over. You see what I'm saying?
mhm.
But I think with Trump just standing on his own, if he could have and not have had those family ties, yeah, I think that he would, because he and Netanyahu didn't get along, but he still let the Israeli policy, I mean, the relationship, allied partnership with Israel remain. However, he did pull out $60 million from the Crescent Foundation, from the PA Authority. Pulled 60 million. That's what they do. The PA, the Public Authority. I mean, the Palestinian Authority. That's the PA. They were supposed to have been governing the money, but then what happened was, when the people had their elections, whether under pressure or not, they voted in Hamas to run the government, because Palestinian Authority officials were so weak that they let Hamas take over. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
when that happened, that's when Trump pulled out the 60 million for humanitarian aid. I can understand that. I would agree with that 100%. However, since he kind of made the statement and now he's trying to come back off of the statement, I'm kind of thinking that we would still be, and like Tim said, it wouldn't make any difference. We kind of still be where we are today.
No, I was saying the difference
Oh, you
between
said the difference. Okay,
yeah,
that's right. You and I on opposite sides. Okay.
right.
All right. Oh well. Well, what about the oil? Because here's what Netanyahu did in his war cabinet. They stopped humanitarian aid from coming in, which they have again since the ceasefire, temporary ceasefire pause, or whatever you want to call it, ended. And part of that humanitarian aid included fuel, right? So Turkey prime minister is for ceasefire, and he was for ceasefire from the beginning. And he was happy when they had the little 7-day pause, and they got a little bit of humanitarian aid in. But since Netanyahu and his war cabinet went back to destruction, and the killing and the bombing and the bombardment, oh, Turkey pulls oil. They're not shipping any more oil to Israel. So I guess Turkey say, well, if the Palestinians can't get fuel, then you don't need any either. They need fuel for those tanks, those army tanks, right? And
Yeah,
Right.
their
whatever.
generators go.
A lot of their bakeries are like that too.
No, I'm talking about the military.
Oh,
Israel's military needed for their planes and their tanks and trucks and cars and lot
Generators.
generators.
yeah. Unless they have a stockpile.
Well, they probably got a stockpile, but the stockpile won't last
Yeah.
forever.
Right.
So did
Um,
America have a
is
stockpile?
is that written in stone for us them pulling
Oh,
the
it was,
field?
yeah. It was, oh yeah, I heard it. I've been watching. This is day
Yeah,
62, day
yeah, yeah,
62, and
yeah.
I
I
have
know.
not missed a day.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I watched it. I watched Al Jazeera. However, Israel cut communications yesterday, which was day before in Israel time. So for 48 hours, nobody can call anybody. They cannot use the internet. They can't call for help. They can't communicate. Nobody can communicate. And so they hadn't had any active pictures, recent pictures to show as to how much destruction or what has happened in the war since the day before yesterday that were live pictures. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yesterday and the day all it was showing was footage, live footage that had already been shown previously the weekend, that sort of thing. So
Right. Right. What did away with the internet? Was that part of a strategy?
oh yeah, then Tyler has done this is like the fourth or fifth time he's done that. He did that like starting the third day of the war.
Okay.
So it's not the first time that Netanyahu and his war cabinet has done that. So I don't know who's gonna make him turn it back on, but whenever it does come back on, I know it's just gonna be so pitiful. I hope I don't get sick again because
Yeah.
the first 2 weeks of watching this, y'all know it just made me sick. I had to go to the emergency matter. I think I should sue Netanyahu when this whole thing ends.
Mm.
Because it's so sad. You feel so helpless. You
Yeah.
can't do anything. I felt those people pain because I'm a spiritual person. And, like we were talking about us, we are star seeds. So we have a strong connection with humanity,
Mm-hmm.
So, and it just made me weak as water. It made me sick. Made my immune system go down lower, which caused me to get sick because
Yeah.
I was so sad and I couldn't tear myself away from it because I could not believe it was happening in 2023. Not nothing
Yeah.
like this,
It's definitely a slaughter.
Definitely, And then what made me so angry about it is why were there no rules set in place? They got the United Nations, they got the NATO, they got the UE, they got the EU. And none of these big organizations, the WHO, none of these big organizations have, even the Qatari, none of these big organizations that are supposed to represent peace and keep all the countries on a peaceful basis had any rules in place to immediately stop Netanyahu doing this. And that's what's so angry and make me so frustrated. Anyway, that's my 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Sassy say, all right. Sassy say, oh wow, yes, Sandra, I know you are working and you don't get a chance to watch it. But at nighttime, if whenever you're if you ever get a chance to watch this, ALJAZEERA, go to YouTube and put in this station. This station is funded by the Qatari government, so YouTube can't pull it off, and the mainstream media can't pull it off. So if you get a chance, whenever you get some time, if you go to this, put that word there in your search bar on YouTube, and you can watch it live 24/7. Okay, that's where you're gonna get the truth. But like I say right now, for the past 48 hours, there has not been any communications. All communications have been cut off, so they may not have any recently live footage. But at least you'll be able to catch up on what it looks like from previous live footage. Okay, great. Okay, she says she would check it out. Excellent. Let's take a little break. When we come back, who's up next?
I guess I go. I ain't got a lot.
Okay, Kathy, he beat you to the punch.
That's
You
okay.
beat, you beat me to the punch.
I think the cat's got
That
her tongue.
time.
What, James? What,
The cat's
James?
got her tongue today.
Oh my, yeah. Okay.
What did James say?
I
The
said the
cat's
cat's
got
got her
my
tongue.
tongue.
Oh,
Haven't heard her
No.
talk yet.
Right. Not quite. I'm just being good. I'm just listening. That's all.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Kathy. Okay, then, because I'm not
All
going to
right.
interrupt either. All
I'm
right.
gonna
So,
I'm
y'all,
gonna wait, but I got some late breaking news.
okay,
All
great.
right. Great.
So, let's watch me and Tim and Sybil.
Dad, it's time. It's time! It's time! Woo!
Bruh, this what we're going in for right now. This garden glue.
Bruh, it's time.
It's time!
We had so much fun doing that
That
commercial.
commercial cracks me up.
Y'all saw me with my cane, didn't
Mm-hmm.
you?
I love
Make
that.
me laugh.
Love that commercial.
All right, Tim, take us away.
Okay. An Arizona sheriff has exposed that immigrants are receiving $5,000 Visa cards. Yeah. So what's y'all input on that? Cause I'm highly upset.
I am too. You should be, Tim.
Where did Jim
Really?
go, though? Jim
He got,
disappeared.
he,
He got
he got so upset he knocked himself out.
Holy, there you are.
You got so
Don't
upset
get
you
that
knocked
upset
yourself
again,
out.
okay?
That must have been telepathically then.
You
Your
knocked
skills
yourself
are
out.
growing. Your skills are growing. You got to watch it.
I
Yeah.
know, right? I see.
Yeah, I mean, we can see that you were upset.
You should be, Tim and Kathy,
Yeah, man.
because your money is
What
that
do
you.
y'all think? I mean,
Well,
this
I
is
used to live there, so and I saw a lot of things. Even as a school teacher, I saw all these illegal immigrants getting
Tim,
meals.
oh yeah,
Meals
Tim,
at the
yes,
school. Yeah,
excuse me for interrupting.
yes.
that's
Oh,
okay.
that's your lamp above your head. I thought you had a visitor.
No,
I didn't see it. I didn't see it the first time.
it's not the mothership.
Okay, all right. Well, you
But
know what? I did
yeah.
hear something about that, and then
Emily's been drinking too much wine.
no, this is what I keep by me all the time. This is what is this? How many ounces? 50.7 fluid ounces. I drink a bottle of this every day, the full bottle. And
Yeah,
this
but
is
what's
that
it mixed with?
nothing. This is like refill because I had already had emptied it once today. I drink a lot of water because the structured water cleans up my system and it helps
It's
my
good
body
there.
absorb my medication better.
Mm-hmm.
We really don't drink enough water. People don't, but because I used to not, and because I didn't like the way water tasted, it was heavy. Because you can have water that's heavy, water that doesn't taste like, even though they say Tennessee has the best water, our water is heavy to me. And I didn't drink a lot of water for years until I found out about the structured water unit. And I think this is like my fourth or fifth year now. When I first did my structured water, I could not believe how light and fresh and crisp and clean the water tasted. And
I
so
don't drink
now,
public water either.
yeah, and so like now, it's easy for me to drink it. So I make sure that I stay hydrated, except for when I'm sick. Now, when I'm sick, I still try to drink it, but I'm not able to drink as much. And for some reason, my body won't absorb it because they say that most Tim can tell you that. And when I end up going to the hospital, which hope doesn't happen anytime soon, I'm always hydrated. I mean,
Mhm.
dehydrated. I'm always dehydrated. But it's
Well,
because when you're sick, I don't know what it is about it. No matter how much water you drink, but when you're sick, for my body, it just won't take. But back to you and your cars, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, well, y'all know my feelings. I just want to know how y'all feel about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to connect something. Yeah, well, the GOP voted down Biden's proposal for what was it,
student
160?
loan.
No, 160 billion for aid to Israel and Ukraine. He connected it together. And 60 billion was supposed to go to Ukraine, and the other part was supposed to go to Israel to help them and fund them for the war. So the GOP Republicans have blocked it.
Good.
So that, yeah, and so they're saying that GOP's, they see the Republicans. You got only about half of the Republicans that's against this war and want a ceasefire, but the other half, they kind of right along still with Biden about the war. They really don't care which way it goes, but they're using this strategically because the reason that they gave for blocking it had nothing to do with the war. You see, the reason that they gave for blocking it was they said until he take some of that money and fund the immigration system to handle this mass uh,
Yeah.
migration of immigrants that's coming through the country, that they are not going to sign it.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
so that's a
Yeah.
connection I had with you when you were
Yeah.
talking about that $5,000. So
But you know what I have an issue with? I have an issue with when Americans can't even get aid. That's what I have a main
Right.
issue. It isn't the children. I love children.
mhm.
That's what I want to say because I've been sitting on the edge of my seat, even though it was funny how you disconnected and everything. And I just want to explain that. But
Right.
Yeah,
when Americans don't get aid, they don't get welfare, they don't get medical. Why should anyone else who just comes into the country get it
mhm.
Right.
automatically? I mean, does that seem fair when we've had generations of our family living here? I think
Uh-huh.
all Americans feel this way. It
Yeah,
has
Yeah.
they
to be
do.
alternatives. It has to be
Yeah.
alternatives
Yeah.
because if you encourage illegals to come in the country, they will continue if you make it easy for them and they don't have to work. That's
Right.
Mhm.
the thing. They
And
need
that's
to
what they've
work.
been living. That's what they've been doing. This is nothing new. I
We're all
retired.
working. We all work. We all
Mhm.
got our Social Security if we're retired. So, yeah. I mean,
But
what's
I,
so
I, I
yeah.
work for the Department of Human Services,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's why I say this is nothing new. They
Mm-hmm.
illegal immigrants have been getting $1,000 a month and for food stamps every month. Is sometimes $1,500. Depends on how many kids they have. And they would come in and say that the kids didn't have any fathers. Their fathers was in Mexico or Guatemala or Cuba, and then they would have another baby. They would get the medical care for their babies, and not only would they get the medical care, the food stamps, they would also get a monthly check for each child.
Well,
I
Mm.
see,
know
that's
our
not
family
true.
like
That's not true when they say they don't know who the father is. That's not true
No,
either.
they lie. They lie, but we couldn't prove it.
Well,
We were just caseworkers. The only resource that
mhm.
we had for reporting someone that we thought was lying was to send the case to another department that we had. I forgot the name of the department, but we had an investigation department, but it wasn't called the investigation department. I forgot the name of it. It's been so long. But that was the only way they would get investigated. But as a case manager, you can only take what accept what people tell you. You can't sit there and
Yeah.
tell the person that they're lying.
But you
That
see,
was
Right.
the thing is, a lot of these homes, they have people, 10, 15 people living in one home renting it.
Yeah.
It's all over the country.
Yeah. And I.
big houses, mansions,
Yeah.
nice houses too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why
This.
should they get rewarded for doing that and coming here and living our luxurious
Right.
lifestyle when we're stuck, working for till we're 65.
Yeah, it's a second part. It's a second part to that. It's a Republican representative named Brian Babin introduced the legislation to aim to terminating the birth rights of citizenship for children born to illegals in the United States.
Yeah, I never knew why they did that in the first place.
Me neither.
Well, that's the problem I have.
Yeah.
I never understood why they did that in the first place, because I'm not really sure. I think you can have dual citizenship, but I think that if Tim had been born in France, I don't think he would have automatically been a citizen. I would have had to apply for citizenship for him, wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
I would think so.
that's what's so wrong about it. Everything's wrong about it.
I mean, I'm just saying, and it's not funny. The states adopt a stupid rule that no other countries have, because all other foreign countries, you have to apply for citizenship for you and your child.
Right.
Well, that's the problem I have with the immigrants and the citizenship. They come over here, they have their babies, and then they're now U.S. citizens. They're collecting whatever they can.
Yeah, and it's like the Gazans. Okay, so like the Gazans are trying to get out of Gaza because Netanyahu and his war cabinet is pushing them, trying to push them into Egypt and west into Syria. Okay, so like probably this is like the second week of the war. There was this mother on there could go to Ramallah, that's at the Egypt border. She could cross the border and go into Egypt for her and her child because they had dual citizenship. But her husband couldn't come because he didn't have a citizenship in Egypt. So she was upset because she had to leave her husband there. And and her only she and her child would go. So you see, that's why I know that in other countries, probably like 95% of the countries at least, you got to apply for citizenship for yourself, your husband, your loved ones, your children, whoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Except the United States. You just come and have a baby, and automatically your baby is a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which would give their children a better life versus theirs.
Well, I agree. I agree with the senator. That should be stopped.
Yeah,
it should be, but not. If they come in the legal way,
that
mean that legal way is different.
Yeah,
right. That would mean that they would be a legal resident.
Right, that's different.
And that's different because in Tennessee, the law is if they live in this state, and see, that's another thing that needs correcting too. Because by me working in the Department of Human Services, I know the law. If they live in the state of Tennessee for 7 years, do you know that they can automatically be given legal residency? And see, now I don't know the law about the other states, but they may have something similar. So when people ask, well, what are we going to do with these other 30 million illegals that's already here? Well, I'm going to tell you something. In some states, they're not illegal anymore because they're automatically given a legal residency status after a certain amount of time. Now, for Tennessee, it's 7 years. And we had to know the difference between that, and they had to show us proof of their legal residency because they give them a card that says that they are a legal resident, even though they may have come in illegally.
Plus, when they come in, they automatically qualify because they make $0, while Americans could be off $5 and not get a single crumb.
You mean off 50 cents?
50 cents? Okay, you know. I mean, it's so crazy. I mean, we don't know what their guidelines are. People don't know what their guidelines are.
I still remember that because I can remember. I also worked in the call center where they would call to file an appeal. And we had many clients that had to file an appeal just because they were 50 cents or 75 cents over the limit.
Wow.
Or $1 over the limit. And it was sad, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I've known people that happened to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know people who actually work for the department and couldn't qualify even though they were only getting minimum wage.
That's true.
They were only
because none of the clerks, the clerks that worked for the state of Tennessee, they didn't even make $20,000 a year.
Yeah.
You know, but they worked for the Department of Human Services, but they still can qualify for food stamps.
Yeah, I mean,
they might have been $10 or $20 over.
Yeah, exactly.
A month for the limit.
I know those cases.
Man, that's crazy.
You know, it's a catch-22. And why they let these old laws and regulations stay on the books on these states is because we have old butt, and that's not the word I want to use. We have old butt politicians sitting up there pulling their checks, steadily getting reelected. It ain't studying about trying to make anything better or change anything.
No.
Right on. We need young people. We really need young people.
Yeah.
They want the rules and get young people in there.
They want to kick the young people out because you heard about the case in Tennessee where they kicked 2 senators out.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And we had to go back and vote for them. The citizens of Shelby County, Tennessee, had to go back and revote them back in. And they're still back in there.
Yeah.
Just dumb. But it does show
and that's why Vivek Swami is doing so good in the polls.
But it shows systematic discrimination.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it shows.
Oh, yeah.
And because you're not supposed to discriminate based on age, religion, color, creed, and there's one more in it. Sex.
Okay, I beat you by a little.
Look, no wonder I forgot about that one. It's been so long.
I was trying to help you out.
Almost left my vocabulary. And I'm glad I don't have any children now that I'd have to talk to them about it.
Well, it's been at least as old as Tim is, right?
Huh?
At least as old as Tim is.
Yeah, I'm 52.
See that?
Now hold on just a minute, James.
Hey, we're all in the same boat.
Now look, I ain't always been a rocking chair grandmama. I was a rock and roll granny now. All right. So I have had some boyfriends since my marriages ended.
Yeah. Yeah. She's never had a problem in that area.
Yeah. But it's been a number of years since that happened. So
yeah.
And you know what? I know that old people, elderly, seniors, they like to they got matchmaking sites for seniors now, people over 65, over 55 and stuff, but there are some seniors that still want to have companions.
You'll end up with one of them mass murderers.
But that's just not me. That's the last place that you'll see me doing a search.
Yeah, I would advise people not to do that because 2 out of my 3 husbands were that way. So I would advise them not to do that.
Emily, you get a mass murderer.
No, Emily won't because Emily not going to be looking in the first place.
But it would be so
one of them, I said, well, he grew up in my home state. He's Italian. I remember Italians in Connecticut. He should be okay. Wrong.
Yeah.
But it would be so complicated because you're set in your ways. You're so set in your ways. Nobody wants to adjust.
Nobody wants to adjust.
That's the way my mom was.
Yeah.
She was older and she was set in her ways, and she said, "You know what? I don't need a boyfriend."
My mom don't live well with others.
You know that's true.
Don't live well
I
with
used to watch. I used to watch my grandma Mary talk about if she got involved and they gave her a hard time, she'd hit him over the head with a frying pan.
Yeah, I like my
That
space.
was the last experience I heard in my family about
Too bad
that.
you didn't have one of them.
It didn't matter if it was husband, son. It didn't matter.
You need to get that for your sound effects, Emily.
What, the frying pan or what?
A boink.
Oh man.
Tim say, Tim, mama don't like me
You
living with
know,
nobody.
she don't dwell well with others at all.
I don't play well in
No.
in sandbox.
Nope. Not on no living. Nope.
That's true. Now, yeah, with a pet, I get along just fine because I'm always the mistress of the house with a pet.
She ain't wait too long to get me out the bird nest either.
Besides, we can see some 80-year-old guy saying, Tim saying, "Hi, Dad," though.
I hate seeing 70, 60-year-old men living with their mother. That's dumb.
Yeah.
I'm like, unless they just moved in to help the mother.
No man.
But but it's like this guy I knew when I was between husbands, and he was a deacon of the church, and at that time I guess he was about 50 years old. But this man had never been married and still living on with his mother. Can you imagine?
No.
Yeah. I've heard of those stories.
I've heard of it, but I couldn't imagine.
But I'm gonna tell you what I always did hear from a lot of other older women when I was young, and I heard more than one of them say this, that if you ever found a man that loved his mother, then that would be a good man. He would take care of you.
Yeah.
But there was a but with it. And that was,
there's always a butt involved.
There's always a butt involved.
As long as it's not a big butt.
Well, this would be kind of a big butt for a single woman, because the butt is that sometimes it depends on the man, though, they said, but sometimes that man is gonna always put his mama before you.
It's always a catch. It's never as good as it sounds.
That don't have anything to do with politics, but it's the truth. And but my son wasn't like that. He put his wife before me, and that is.
There's always someone that's in front of you.
But it never did bother me, because that is what the Bible. That is what the Bible teaches.
Right.
And that is what he grew up on.
Yeah, she raised me that way.
He was grooming you, Tim.
Yeah.
You raised him too well, man. You raised him too well.
Yeah, that was kind of sometimes that I really wished I hadn't raised him so doggone well, but
no time like the present. I'm here.
Yeah, I finally got all of him to myself now. But
so you're married, right, Tim?
No. I was married 23 years, and I got divorced. But my 2 kids are grown, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 grandchildren.
Yeah, I thought you were married too. I don't know why.
I thought he was married.
No.
An active wife, not an inactive wife.
I did 23 years of that. I'm good.
Yeah.
You were in prison for 23 years.
That's the time when I'm talking about, that I had raised him well, and with some of the times there did come a few times that I wish I had not raised him so well, because he definitely looked after his family and put his wife first and his children first, his family first.
Good boy.
And Mama had to call a friend or somebody else. So I just did what I had to do.
That's right.
Because that is what the Bible says, you know. And so anyhow, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, I think Kathy, you have an article, right? That you
Yeah.
want to talk about.
Okay.
Okay, great. So let's take a little break.
Kind of
The
fun.
cat gave her back her tongue.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we'll be back, you guys. Look, don't go away. Stay and stay.
Hey, you guys.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, it's some breaking news that just came out. Hunter Biden has been indicted on tax crimes by special counsel.
Oh, you just gave away my my news.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Johnny.
That's why I was late coming into the meeting.
Okay. I'll let you have
We're
it.
gonna need a button.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
That's Family Feud button. Yeah.
you know what y'all need? Y'all need this.
What is that? Oh, the whistle.
This is my time out whistle.
All right. Okay.
Okay, coach.
You're the
I keep-
teacher in the house.
I keep one of these on my bed. I keep one in my car. I keep one in my purse.
All right.
If somebody coming towards me, because I got my emergency button, you know, my home burglar alarm. But this will probably startle him.
Careful, coach.
I don't think that's gonna
they'll
do
be
it.
like, what in the world is she doing? Look, my
Let your
doggy.
doggy do it. Let your doggy do it. Maybe he
She,
can go it.
she thought I was calling her with the whistle.
Hi, pup. You tickled her nose.
Yeah, she flew.
You tickled her nose.
She flew out the way.
Tim's in shock because he remembers that whistle as a kid.
She way over there. Y'all won't believe it. She way over there on the side of the other room by the wall.
Yeah, I believe it.
She never heard it before.
Like, my God, first that face around Halloween, now this.
Yeah, no, she couldn't see you. No, she didn't see us on Halloween. Well, yeah, like when I had on my mask.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's scared her. She never seen that either.
I can't be in there with these people, she's saying.
Yeah, she never heard that before. She's still looking crazy. Okay.
You know what you gotta get you, Tim or Emily?
What?
You got to get you one of them what do they call them? Tasers.
Oh, taser.
I handed them out to all my girls in my family.
I'm thinking about getting me a gun.
That too. Hey, I send you.
In Memphis, Tennessee, you need a gun.
I sent you the thing to win one. Did you put it in?
I saw that, but no, I hadn't. Has it expired?
What's a Gordon? Gordon?
No, a garden.
Oh,
a garden, not a garden.
Fire,
like a flash Gordon. I had no clue. I don't know.
No, I said a gun.
Fire on.
I got you.
I didn't
You
want
guys
to say
are crazy tonight.
I didn't want to say the word on the show because I want them to say we try to start something or plan nothing, you know.
Exactly. You got to be careful. It all counts.
Yeah.
Well,
But all right, Kathy, we're ready for you. We're finna get
Kathy's
dignified.
gonna plan us.
We're finna get dignified now. Come on, Kathy.
Okay. All right. Well, I wrote some notes on it because the Napoleon movie is out and it came out in November. And also I have, some relations in a lot of the countries that were invaded and then he got kicked out of it and everything. So let me just explain to everybody a little bit about Napoleon so that they know and what the controversy is in France because they say he's not depicted correctly. But Napoleon was born on August 15th, 1769. And he died on May 5th, 1821. He was known as Napoleon I. He was a French emperor as well as a military leader who rose during the French Revolution. Now, he was celebrated, but he was also a controversial leader due to his authoritarian rule. However, he was also considered one of the greatest military commanders of all time. And I've seen that list. Yeah, he's on number 1, and my ancestor's like 100. And my ancestor was really good too, Carl Gustav Emil Mannerheim. And now it was debated whether he was responsible for Napoleonic Wars, in which now here's a controversy again. I mean, people don't even know how many people were killed in those days. It was like it said that 3 to 6 million people died. Now there's a discrepancy because was it 3 or 6 million? It's like, but anyway, we'll get back to
stretch.
We'll get back to that. But in 1796, he began a military campaign against the Austrians, and I'm Austrian too, so I was interested in that, and their Italian allies. Now, what was so interesting, if you really watch military leaders, a lot of stuff can be taken back to where they also grew up and all that. Yeah. A lot of people probably don't know that Napoleon was born on an island off of Corsica, and his family was of Italian mobility. So but he was resentful of the French monarchy, even though he ended up representing them. I mean, these kind of things happen all the time because I like to read on history about military leaders. And he supported the French Revolution in 1789 while serving in the French army. Okay, so it's just so complicated. He was trying to spread his ideals to his native Corsica. So, and then he rapidly rose in the ranks. But also, he led a military expedition into Egypt that was interesting, and that's one of the controversies of the movie. And he served as a springboard. It served as a springboard to political power. In 1804, he crowned himself Emperor of the French. So he crowned himself, and then he invaded the Iberian Peninsula, where I have at least 400 relatives. And he declared his brother Joseph the king of Spain in 1806. Then the Spanish and the Portuguese revolted, which is interesting because you got a world power. You don't think that you can take them down. Wrong. You can take them down. All right. That's another lesson. It doesn't matter if they're Napoleons or who they are. Okay. And so they revolted in the Peninsular, they call it, war, and aided by the British army, defeated the Napoleon marshals. Okay, I'm almost getting to the end here where the funny part starts. And then there was a coalition in 1813 against Napoleon, and Prussia, which was part of Russia, and Austria, who had been defeated, remember, joined Russian forces and defeated Napoleon and invaded France, capturing Paris. So they forced Napoleon to abdicate in April 1814, and he was exiled to an island, right? The Isle of Elba, and is between where he was born, Corsica, and Italy, right? Now, I didn't even know all of this stuff. I'm serious. I mean, maybe I read it a long time ago, but it's good to, when you see something come out in the movies, to actually research it again and just figure out, like, is this a great, a realistic depiction of this leader, or was it not? Okay, and then in February 1815, Napoleon escaped
Out the island.
and he took control of France again. You gotta watch those little Napoleons with the short complexes. You gotta watch. I come across my paralegal instructor, and he was asking me, man.
He did have epilepsy, so he was probably what we call eccentric.
Oh, okay.
He was real short too, right? He had the short man complex.
He was short.
Okay.
Yeah, very short. Yes.
Yeah.
And he's the one that used to keep his hand in his pocket, in his jacket pocket. What was that for, Kathy? I forgot.
I'm not sure. It just made him look taller, maybe. I don't know.
I forgot. Now, there was actually a reason. I think it was
really?
because
I don't remember. They didn't say.
I think he had the handshake thing.
Handshake.
Because of his epilepsy.
Oh,
I think it affected his nerves, some of his nerves in his hand and that arm and hand. Because on this hand, on my thing, this hand right here, on these three fingers right here, they stay numb all the time. And my thumb, and it gets cold. And I think that he probably kept it in there to keep it warm. Because that's what I have to do. Tim bought me some copper gloves, and they help. And then I got two other kinds of gloves that I put on this hand, but they're always cold. If I put them to your face, you'll think it's an ice cube.
Wow. Well, anyway, after he took over France again, after escaping Corsica, the Allies responded by forming a seventh coalition. So it took like 7 coalitions by this time. And they defeated Napoleon again at the Battle of Waterloo. Now, I know I've heard that song before, but I never really knew.
Yeah, by ABBA.
That was him. In June 1815, the British exiled him again to another remote island of St. Helena, the little shrimp. in the Atlantic, where he died in 1821.
Oh, he died on the island?
Yeah, at the age of 51. But
So
he
he's
did
not
do
coming back.
no, but he did do something good for the United States. I guess you could call it. I'm not sure because the Native Americans owned it, so I don't think it's great.
The Louisiana
Louisiana territory. It doubled the United States, and he was responsible for that. So basically, there were 7 scientific breakthroughs. They're trying to proclaim that there were breakthroughs. Let's wait till you listen to the breakthroughs. I don't think they were that. They weren't. 7 scientific breakthroughs that resulted from Napoleon's invasion of Egypt. Like, you can ask the Egyptians, I'm sure they won't agree with you. He brought dozens of scientists with him. Okay, but there's a catch on that one. Wait till you hear about that. Astronomers, mathematicians, and naturalists spent 3 years studying the country. Napoleon's invasion failed, but it led to the groundbreaking Scientific Institute of Egypt in August 28, 1798. He improved bread ovens, purified the Nile's water, which is a good thing, brewed beer without hops. Okay, all the beer drinkers are probably happy. But however, the scientists weren't happy because when he left just a year later, he left the scientists stranded in Egypt.
Wow.
He forgot about them, huh?
He left.
Forgot about who? He forgot it. He forgot about who?
The scientist.
The scientist. He
the scientist.
He left them all in Egypt. He abandoned them.
They must have a disagreement.
He left them with the beer and the bread.
I have to take up for Napoleon right there because with epilepsy, it does affect your memory a little bit, and but it just depends. And see, back then, he probably had a worse time because they didn't have medication for it.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
And they didn't know what it was.
They didn't know what it was, and he probably really had a really super hard time. And the other thing about Napoleon is he was the one that had his soldiers to chop the nose off the Sphinx in Egypt when they invaded it.
The what?
Oh, that was him?
The nose off the what?
The
Sphinx.
Oh, that's bad. That's nasty.
Oh, he destroyed a lot. He destroyed a lot of the temples. Yeah. And because the Sphinx, when he got there, it was really, really beautiful. I saw this on the History Channel where they gave the recreation of what the original Sphinx looked like. And it like had the body of a lion and the head of a pharaoh, head of a pharaoh. And he had them to chop the head part off and the nose off the face.
So those statues with the nose off is because of him?
Because of him.
Oh, man. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. You can research it. You can look at it on Google and you'll find out.
Oh, he left all the scientists pedaling down the river, eating fresh bread and looking at all the noses on the pyramids.
Well,
I wouldn't call that a great thing. No, I wouldn't.
He was a character, all right. I'll tell you that much.
He must have been nosy.
Oh, I got you, James. I caught that.
Anyway, let me tell you what. It's going to be short. What the French people and some of the people said about the movie that they didn't like. Okay.
Okay.
Now it was released on the Napoleon movie was released on HBO Max on 11/25/23, and it included Joaquin Phoenix. Which he has a proper name for it, for Egypt anyway. And it was done by Ridley Scott. Okay. But there were so many deviations about Napoleon's age and everything relating to the historic events that they said that, totally threw everybody off. And then the wife was supposed to be a certain age and he was a lot younger or older, you name it, but that was one of the issues. And then Variety said they slammed it as like spitting in the face of the French people. I wouldn't go that far, so I'm not sure where that came from because they didn't really back that up. and they said it's a movie that French people love to hate.
Wow. Wow. Well, I guess so if he was a double spy.
Yeah, yeah, double spy.
Mm.
But it made like 9.76 million in the first 2 weeks, and it's one of Scott's biggest hits in France. And then one thing they disagreed about was they saw the bombing of the pyramids in the movie. I haven't seen the movie, but they said that none of the monuments were destroyed in the movie, but they didn't really take into account that Napoleon killed so many Egyptians either.
Yeah, they destroyed temples. Yeah, he destroyed temples and they stole all of their jewels and treasures, damaged the Sphinx, and killed a lot of Egyptians.
Team and everybody else.
Huh?
I believe it's on Peacock.
Oh,
well, I'm going to try to look for it. If it's on Max, I got Peacock too. So I'll look and see if I can find it, and I'll watch
seen the
it.
commercial for it on Peacock.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll just watch that next because I just finished this series. Well, no, I'm not gonna watch it next because right now I just finished a series called what was it called? Anyhow, it was really Dr. Death. Tim, have you seen that?
Dr. Death? No. What is on?
It's on Peacock.
Okay.
And but yeah, it's a series that got like 8 or 9, 10 episodes, but it's something else about this doctor. He was from Tennessee, went to the University of Tennessee, and left here and went to Dallas, and he was a neurosurgeon, and he crippled and paralyzed and killed some people while he was doing surgery on their back.
Oh my!
Yeah, and after surgery, and or doing surgery, and he did not have proper training to even be a doctor. He was a manipulator that got his way through getting those degrees.
Yeah,
and because he just always wanted to be a doctor because he couldn't. Anyway, you need to see it. It's really,
I check it out.
I seen it.
Yeah, so I just finished watching that. You saw that, and they showed.
I seen the commercial.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. So they show him in Memphis several times. There are several Memphis scenes in there, because the University of Tennessee is where I did my doctor-patient acting. I did that, and I was looking at the years because I was trying to see when did he come. Did I ever see him? Because in 2013, I started doing standardized patient acting for the University of Tennessee. And what that is, I wanted to be a doctor. And you sound like Dr. Diaz, but
no,
what that is a standardized.
I always wanted to be a doctor.
I just got you.
I just never had the patience.
I was just teasing you.
It's a joke. You're not serious then, right? You're not serious.
Yeah, he's serious. Yeah.
Is he? I don't know.
He's joking. He didn't have the patience.
I said I always wanted to be a doctor. I just never had the patience.
Yeah.
I got it.
Gotcha.
All right. Okay, got you on that one. But let me tell you right quick what a standardized patient actor is. And I did that all the way up until COVID. What that is we pretend that we act as if we're patients. So we have scripts that we have to learn for different types of illnesses. And then these med students come in and they act like they're the doctor and they're being observed by cameras. There's a camera in each exam room, just like a real doctor's exam room. And both of us, the medical student as well as the actor, are being graded, right, on their performance. So I did that for from 2013 up until we had COVID, and then had to stop, the face-to-face. So I just didn't go back. And so I kept looking at the year that they were showing, because it was like 2011, 2012. I was like, oh, okay, no. He didn't come through me. I was like, oh, I know I would have graded him bad. He was.
So you didn't have the patience either.
No, I didn't have the patience either. I was the patience. But yeah, so right now I just started, last night we was talking about the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
So just before the show, after I finished that series, I started watching this a series on Peacock again. It's called The Departure. A plane goes missing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just started. It's a series too. So I'll have to check out the Napoleon thing this weekend because tomorrow night is Friday night. We got a show and we got a guest. Kathy, who's our guest for tomorrow night?
Okay, she just goes by Jacqueline, Jacelyn, but she was an actress. She played, I'm trying to remember which actor she played with. I think it's Adam Chandler, I think.
Yeah, Adam Sandler.
Yeah. Chandler.
Awesome.
Sorry, I said that in an H.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sandler.
and she's also going to be, promoting a Christmas song and an album. And you added another song, so must be a new release as well. When I saw your email, when you were, mentioning her.
Yeah, it's Dovetail. She was on our show in 2020.
Okay.
Before COVID. She's a real sweet young lady, and when she was on our show, she was in the Caribbean on an island drinking a mixed cocktail. She was like, "Oh, it's okay if I drink my cocktail." And she was, but she was sitting out. I don't know if it was Bahamas or where, but she was sitting in front of a fire on an island talking about islands. She had a really good
She wasn't
setting.
drinking beer and eating bread.
What doing what?
Eating bread and drinking beer without hops.
Without hops. Oh, yeah.
Like Egypt.
No, she was really nice. You'll like her, and she can really sing. In fact, we did a video. We produced a video here that she had intended to use for her other Christmas song in 2020, Jingle Bells. But when COVID came, she just didn't continue to promote it. And I think I had it. I don't know if I can still find it. I think I eventually deleted it off of my hard drive, and I don't think I have it. I would have shown it. I could show it and have her give a great big laugh, but I might could find it in the email though, because I think I'm the one that sent it to her. Because I'm pretty sure, I did the editing on it, so yeah, I might can find it, and that would be something that'll be a surprise. That'll be a surprise.
Go to your
for
email
her.
and search it.
Yeah, that'll be a surprise for her. So,
now she's from Canada, so if you'd like to research Jacqueline and check out her music,
she was actually our first Canadian guest that we've had on the show. We've had several since, however. But I'll do that. That'll surprise her. So don't y'all tell her, though. It's a secret.
Okay.
Take a look.
We can't forget about James.
James
got his piece.
James, don't say anything.
No. I'm talking about he has a topic.
Oh, what topic you got, James?
Well, before we get off topic, I want to say one more thing on Peacock.
Okay.
For my wife and everybody else that loves comedy and murder, don't forget to check out the new Monk movie.
A new Monk movie? I love Monk.
He's coming back on Peacock on the 8th, today.
Tonight?
Today, the new Monk movie is supposed to be released.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll look for that tomorrow then. Because like I said, they probably won't have any actual live footage.
Tomorrow night? She out tomorrow night.
Okay.
Oh, tomorrow night's better. No. Yeah. Saturday for me. Because we got the show tomorrow.
Tomorrow night on Peacock, she said.
Okay.
Well, okay. Well, I can still go back and watch it Saturday, though.
We're huge Monk fans, so.
I am too. Me too. Yeah.
Kathy, you should like that. You like that comedy.
See, I remember watching Monk, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, he's a card. He's a card.
Yeah, he is.
He's a detective. He's a detective, right?
Yeah,
but it's a comedy.
But he's a weird guy. He can't stand for nobody.
He's got all these phobias.
Yeah, he can't stand for nobody to touch him. He's afraid of heights.
He's a
germaphobe. But he's really, really smart and can put a case together.
Yeah.
He's a germaphobe.
It's kind of like Mr. Bean, the British comedy. I like Mr. Bean too. Did
That's
you
my
ever watch
favorite.
him? You like Mr. Bean?
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
James
Rowan
say, hell
Atchison?
yeah.
Rowan Atchison? I'm always getting yelled at for watching him.
Okay.
So funny.
Always saying it's stupid. I call it stupid comedy.
Yeah, he is really
Well,
funny.
James, what were you going to talk about? Because we're supposed to make the show shorter. What were you going to talk about?
I
Well,
think
Tim
that
blew
was
off
it.
my spot, but I'll tell.
Okay.
While I was late coming in the studio, it was late breaking news that Hunter Biden is being indicted in California for all the crimes of. They haven't really released what crimes exactly, but for all of the money laundering and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the gun.
They hadn't said nothing about the gun and they hadn't connected to the president yet.
So do you think he'll get any time?
I don't think he's got a choice this time.
Yeah, he's just a son. He don't got no immunity.
Hi, Jack. How you doing?
See, Jack likes Rowan.
You and Rowan and Thomas will be 100% tuning in tomorrow's show. You can't wait. All right. Thank you all so much. Yeah, you're like Jacqueline. She's a beautiful young person, inside and outside. She's a great singer too, so you'll love her. Thanks for coming in. You got us as we was getting ready to close, but we glad you made it. So closing comments, Tim.
I don't know. Another great show, great information. I learned a lot that I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I guess it's true. You can learn something every day, right?
Every single day.
Absolutely.
Kathy.
Well, this was kind of a fun show and realistic altogether.
We had a really good fun show.
My alley.
Jack, watch the replay. You're gonna have big laughs. Yeah. Okay, James.
Yeah, you guys made me laugh tonight.
Yeah, we got James took a box turned over tonight.
I gotta watch it when I laugh.
He said, okay, he'll watch the replay. All right, so we're getting ready to go, guys. And what we're going to say is what I always close with on our politics show is, listen, free thought is a philosophy. It is not a policy. Yes, James will be on the show tomorrow, of course.
Jack, did you send me a friend request on Facebook? If you did, send it back to me. I didn't know who you were.
Okay. He'll probably will. He'll be here. You weren't there last. Yeah, he came in late. He was there. He was here last Friday. Now Sybil won't be here tomorrow night. She's out of town. Okay, she'll be out of town for a few days. But this four team right here, we will be here in live and living color, Jack. Okay. All right, listen, you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you, audience, for being here. Thank you, audience, for those of you who will be watching on replay. We love you. And I always close with this: free thought is a policy. Is a philosophy. It's not a policy. Don't ever let anybody put a policy on your free thought. That's your freedom. Nobody can take that away. It's a philosophy. You have a right to think freely. Okay. All right, that's my show. Everybody say good night.
Good night.
Remember,
Bye. Love you.